Hey conscious creators, in this video, let us understand dimensions and let us understand the entire journey of an individual soul by understanding these dimensions. Dimensions are basically different experiences that an individualized life form goes through once it separates out of the source. And this cycle continues till it finishes all the learnings, all the experiences that it has to go through and merges back into the source. So let us understand this in depth so that you can understand and most potentially figure out where you are in this journey and what are the next steps that are coming your way in the evolution of your journey, not as a person, but as a soul. So let's dive deep in. First of all, let me thank our lovely community member for asking this question, for asking what are dimensions and how do we experience dimensions based on where we are in our soul journey. So let's get started. So I want you to imagine a clock. We will go through these dimensions. So there are 12 dimensions that we will discuss. We will go through these dimensions exactly in a clockwise manner, like a clock. So the topmost dimension, which is the 0th dimension, or you can call it the 12th dimension. It's one and the same thing. In this dimension, there is no individualization. There is only source. There is only consciousness. Pure potential. There is no individual experience at this stage. There is only potential of experience, but no individualization, so no individual experience. This level of consciousness is also called as Shiva consciousness. In this state, there is nothing to be perceived. It's pure nothing. Only potential of existence. It's like a cosmic ocean, but there is nobody to experience that cosmic ocean. A whole lot of infinite nothingness. That's all there is. Now, from this 0th dimension, the first life form, as we come one step down, the first, not even the life form, excuse me. From this 0th dimension, if we take one step down and come to the first dimension, 1 o'clock position on the clock, the first dimension, what is this? It is at this space, a first thought appears, a first ripple in that cosmic ocean of nothingness, of pure stillness. The first ripple, I am. Now, obviously, it is not in these English words, I am, but that experience, that feel, that first level of separation, which is just a tiny wave in this whole lot of stillness. This is called as unity consciousness, or Vishnu consciousness, or Christ consciousness. But this unity consciousness is just nascent. It does not have any experience of any form, life, whatever. This is just nascent. This is the level where you would see very high vibrational beings who have just stepped out of the source into first individualization. They are the ones who are experiencing life at this level. This is where you've got angels, you've got gods and goddesses who are a direct representation of source and embody certain specific qualities. So Vishnu consciousness is happening at this space. So this first individual, the first I am presence, asks, who am I? What am I? Why is there no experience? I want to experience myself. Now, as you can understand, how is experience possible? Experience is only possible when there is contrast. Meaning, suppose you have been sitting in a hot water tub for a long time, your body temperature and that hot water has come to the same level. Now you don't necessarily experience that hot water, right? Whereas when you just got into the tub, when your body was cold, the water in the tub was warm, you get an experience of bliss. This water, this warm water feels so nice on my skin. Why? Because there is contrast between your body temperature and the temperature of the water. So for you to be able to have any experience at all, there needs to be a contrast, right? So this need of contrast gives birth to the dimension number 2, the dimension of duality. This is the dimension where the I am presence polarizes into opposites, dark and light, hot and cold. There are so many such polarizations which are what are creating our experience of life, good or bad, pleasant, unpleasant, happy, sad. This ability to have differentiation is what creates the second dimension. But there is no space. Yes, there is polarity. Yes, there is duality. But where is this duality being experienced? So for there to be a play of experience, the third dimension is born. Third dimension is where the space is created for the first time, where there is length, there is breadth, there is height. That means three-dimensional objects can exist. So now, from pure nothingness came the first experience of me, I am. That I am says, I want to have an experience. So comes second dimension, which has got duality, which has got polarization, which enables any experience. But for that experience to be there, for that experience to be felt physically, so before third dimension is born, everything is just pure energy, okay, pure cosmic energy. First time the space is created, that is the third dimension. So now there are beings that evolve in this third dimension, the life takes on, and myriad of beings are born. So there are birds, there are animals, all the kind of life, insects, reptiles, whatever. It is in this space, if you see all these creatures, they are three-dimensional creatures. They cannot perceive time. So if you go and ask a bird, hey, what time is it? What is that thing called time? Because for them, the only reality is now. Nothing other than now exists. In this now, if it's hot, they'll feel hot. If it's cold, they'll feel cold. If they're hungry, they'll go and hunt. Whatever it is, right? Pain, pleasure, everything is just happening now. They don't know how to escape this moment, right? There is no concept of time at three-dimensional level. Now, as life evolves and more intelligent beings come as human beings, the fourth dimension is formed. What is fourth dimension? So before we developed, as human beings, before we developed the ability to have logic, ability to connect the dots and make sense of the changes that the three-dimensional reality goes through, that is where we started perceiving time. So time is purely a mental construct. In reality, human beings are creating this common agreement. So we have got this Greenwich Mean Time, right? That is the common agreement. Hey, this is the fundamental clock, and everybody has to relate their clocks back to this Greenwich Mean Time. So that's why you will see GMT plus 10, GMT minus 5, whatever time zones are there. But there's a global agreement. This is the time that we follow. So it's like a conspiracy between human beings. If you go and ask an elephant, hey, what time it is or in what time zone you are, that concept just doesn't exist in the life, in the reality of that creature. So fourth dimension is time. Why are we able to perceive time? Because this is the time where, this is the level of evolution where your mind has evolved to a level where it can perceive this clearly, where it can connect the dots, it can attach one frame and its meaning to another frame and its meaning, just like a motion picture. So imagine each moment and experience of each moment to be one picture frame, and moments are evolving. So one moment to another, you go in, you take another picture frame. And like this, since there is this continuity, you experience your reality just like a movie, right? For lesser evolved creature, there is no movie, there is just the frame, just the now, right? So now, multiple nows, and your mind is creating that story. This is the passage of time, which is purely mental. Now, the problem that happens at this level is suffering gets created. Why? Because a human mind is constantly toggling between past, present, future, past, present, future, past, present, future. That means even if something that has happened, say, years ago in your past, if it is a bad memory, we have the ability to take that bad memory, project it into our presence, and project it into the future, right? So something that would have happened and finished long time ago, we are recreating this over and over again. The more number of thoughts you have per second, the farther you are from the reality. Okay? So this is the fourth dimension. Now, when you spend enough time as an individual, as a human being in the fourth dimension, you realize, hey, this is full of suffering. Life is full of suffering. That's where you want to then transcend this fourth dimension, which brings us into the fifth dimension. Fifth dimension is where you see this process of the mind. The process of the mind does not stop, but you are able to see through the illusion of the process of the mind and stay present in that eternal now. The quantum field of experience. This quantum field, or the energy field of the reality, of the existence itself, is called as the fifth dimension. When you enter fifth dimension, you have transcended your understanding as I am this physical body of flesh and bones, and you have transcended the understanding of, hey, I am this mind. You are beyond this mental process, and you are able to observe this mental process objectively, realizing that I am the life force energy itself, right? So this is the fifth dimension, which is the entry point to another important benchmark, which is the sixth dimension. When you go on transcending further and sit in sixth dimension, you realize, hey, I am not even energy. I am pure awareness that is even aware of the energy itself. Now, see, in the clock, 0 or 12 is right at the top, 6 is right at the bottom. The experience of sixth dimension and the zeroth dimension are not that different. I will explain what is the difference as we cover the rest of the dimensions. But in sixth dimension also, your pure awareness, infinite awareness, and in zeroth dimension also, your pure awareness, infinite awareness. Then what is the difference? In sixth dimension, you are halfway through the journey. So every soul's journey is this: you start from the source, go through the experience of life, and then come back to merge back in the source. So by the time you realize you are in sixth dimension, I am pure consciousness, there is still some work to be done, because right now you are embodied, you are encapsulated in a body. And rest of your existence, meaning your energy layer, your mind, and your body, have still not caught up to this fact that you are pure consciousness, you are source itself. So this individual realizes in sixth dimension, hey, I am God. I am the source itself. At this point, there is a little bit of a risk where the individual say, I am God and everything else is not. You would see a lot of spiritual gurus out there who are operating from this space. And that's why their articulation is very much, hey, I am something that you are not. I am bigger than you, I'm better than you, I am more than you, I'm more divine than you. All of this confusion can happen because this sixth dimension consciousness is still encapsulated in a body, in a mind, which hasn't caught up to it yet. Now, when this consciousness evolves further and comes into the seventh dimension, it realizes what I am is what you are as well. There is no difference between you and me. It is at this point that the individual starts seeing the divinity of the other person or other creature as well. This is exactly what The Indian salutation Namaste denotes this is the seventh dimensional consciousness, where Namaste means I bow down to the divinity in you. Because I realize behind this flesh, behind this mental construct, behind this individualized identity, you and I are exactly the same. The same being evolves further into eighth dimension, where the consciousness has expanded so much that this being realizes everybody, every being, every creature, every human being is just another individualized expression of me. Because who am I? Pure consciousness. Life is abundant. Life is infinite. And there are infinite versions of me. As long as I am embodied, I have limited understanding of those, the experiences of those infinite versions. But once the embodiment is over, this consciousness is the same consciousness that is experiencing the individualized experience of everything, every creature, wherever they are, wherever they exist. So now, this being moves further in its understanding and realizes, it comes to the ninth dimension, which is the dimension of completion, where it realizes I am and I have always been eternally complete. See, till you are in the third and fourth dimension, rebirth happens. Why? Because of incompletion. You are an individual life form, a human being, your desires are incomplete, and those incomplete desires stay with you, forcing you to take another form to be able to go and fulfill those desires. But by the time you come to the ninth dimension, you realize I am and I have been eternally complete. There is nothing that I need to do to be complete. This is called as spiritual liberation. My existence is totally transcendental, is totally free from any particular experience. Whether I have a certain experience or whether I don't have any particular experience, I am complete. That is my true nature. This is liberation, which leads the individual to come to the 10th dimension, where now the individual, as long as they are embodied, they go, hey, so how do I best use my embodiment right now to be of service to the mankind, to bring peace, harmony, and this understanding of consciousness to enhance other life forms, other individualized consciousness, other people. So this is the 10th dimension, where they restart their journey, rewrite their future, and step into operating as a spiritual master, which takes us to the 11th dimension. That is the dimension of the master. So they start living and operating as a spiritual master, bringing this deep understanding of reality, deep understanding of cosmos, deep understanding of the self, deep understanding of energies, human energy system, human consciousness, different dimensions, and all those things into the perception of other people. And then when that embodiment or that lifetime is over, this non-individualized by now, this person, this master that you're seeing, the individuality within them is almost gone. It is very thin. And then they merge back into the source and they go back to the 12th dimension or the 0th dimension. So this is the overall journey of any and every soul. Different detours can happen along this journey, but this is the high-level snapshot. I'm very curious to know from your perspective, how did you find this explanation? Was it easy to understand? And if it calls to you, do you want to share? Where do you find yourself in this journey? From like on all the numbers on the clock, right? From 0th to 1, 2, 3, 4, going all the way back to 12th. 12th and 0 are the same. So thank you so much for being with me. If you have any questions about it, I absolutely welcome your question. There is nothing excites me more than talking about this subject and bringing more and more depth into people's understanding of their own self, their own soul journey, their own individualized journey, their own ascension. So yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to comment. Also, would like to hear from you about your own experiences of realizing your own soul journey, where you are at, what is next for you. And if this path, understanding of yourself, excites you, if this calls for you, there is a link to our free community in the description box below, where you can join us and we co-create this understanding together. So you ask questions, we'll come back with the answers, and let's co-create this amazing experience of discovering, defining, and redefining ourselves, shedding the victim consciousness and coming back into our creator consciousness. Also, before I close this, there is a workshop, Thrive Beyond 2025, that I'm offering absolutely free of cost. But this workshop is designed to help you navigate these massive multidimensional changes that are happening in the world, that are about to come. So how do you navigate this gracefully while making the best use of these transformational times in your soul evolution and being able to create your dream reality consciously from that awakened space? So again, if that resonates with you, there is a link to register for this free Thrive Beyond 2025 workshop. So again, thank you for being with me, and I look forward to speaking with you in the coming videos. Till then, take care.